Welcome to the Tantra and Yoga podcast. These podcasts are recorded live at Anuttara ashram with Artemis and Bhairav in the Nishka Nation of northern BC, Canada. They bring clarity to some of the fundamental questions by spiritual seekers along the path of awakening.
So, kind of referring back to that ego question, that I guess I wonder how does fear fit into that? Because I feel like even in accepting the negative things, like fear is the embodiment of like the rejection of connecting to it. You know, I mean, at least that's how I perceive it in a way. So, like, is that also a road to positivity, or is it something which is inherently disconnecting?
At least what's rising for me to share is Bhairav, he spoke about this baby and how the baby's in samadhi. And some people will sometimes say, well, what's the difference between a baby and a living enlightened master? And it's been said, I don't know from experience because I don't remember being a baby and I'm not a living enlightened master, but it's been said that the difference is that the living enlightened master is aware of themselves. The baby is living in samadhi and not knowing it. The same for us, supposedly, when we go to sleep at night. We enter into a state of samadhi, deep sleep, but we don't have a remembrance of it. We're not aware of ourselves there. So some schools of thought say that period of feeling separate, which often requires fear, rejection, loss, pain, that is necessary so that we have this desire to then return to our true nature, and this time with awareness in an everlasting kind of way.
Yeah, it's funny to note that, like, some of in the Christian tradition back during the Desert Fathers at the turn of the 50 to 200 AD, there were a lot of thieves and criminals who became saints, really, because they were so far from that truth, and then they were touched and they turned their life around dramatically, rather than that mediocre person. Nothing wrong with being mediocre, but that who just kind of, there's just kind of no big struggles in life, no big happiness in life, just kind of plugging along at life and retiring and then dying. And no real awakening, because life hasn't really pulled you into the deepest, darkest parts of yourself. And it's that which pulls you up. My first teacher used to say it's kind of like an elastic band. The further you get from truth, the more that it stretches until it brings you back to the divine. So the further you get, the more that you suffer. Like something's like the example of Eckhart Tolle. He lived in depression for so long, and he didn't have suicidal thoughts, but he was like, I just can't live like this anymore. And right in that moment when he realized that he just couldn't live like this anymore, and he wasn't turning to suicide, that was when he had his great awakening. So. Mm-hmm.
If you found this podcast helpful, be sure to follow and turn on notifications to be the first to know when new episodes are released. To embody philosophy through practice, join our Sangha membership to access a wide range of Tantra and Yoga classes and community. Hari Om.